This video will demonstrate how to use the warehouse management interface for pick, pack and shipping stock items. So there's two different ways that we can navigate to this page. The first one is directly from a sales order. So we're looking at a sales order here that's pending shipment and it's got some stock reservations attached to it. You can see there's a pick, pack and ship button here and that will take us straight in. So we're now looking at some stock reservations specifically for the sales order. And the other way that we can navigate to that is through merchant and then stock. And then from the stock reservations drop down box we go to pick, pack and ship. So this will take us to a search page which collects the groupings of stock item reservations per sales order or help desk ticket or anything else that might be reserving stock. So from here we can see a breakdown of each of the different objects that have requested stock, how many have been ordered, how many are picked, packed, shipped and back ordered. So this quick report here can let someone in the warehouse easily see the status of where things are per sales order. So if we click into the most recent order here, we can see the listing of stock reservations here. There's two. These are the manufacturer codes of the parts, and we can see that the status of these two is waiting for stock allocation. So if we're ready to pick this order, we just click the prepare for picking, and you can see that we've now moved on to the pick tab here, and the status of those line items is now picking. The very next thing that we can see here is a field to start typing or scanning either a serial number or a part code in. We can also generate a picking slip here by clicking on this button, and what that will do is store a PDF copy of a picking slip into the document management system. This can then be printed off by the warehouse and used as a picking slip as they walk around the warehouse. So if we now scan our first code in, you can see that it's now prompted us to select a warehouse that we're going to select from here. If you only have one warehouse, then this will be bypassed. And now that's recognized as a valid part, and that has been marked as picked. So we still have one other item here sitting in the picking state. And what we can do now is in the scenario where that hasn't been picked, which could be because it's gone missing or we just don't have the stock, we can continue to move forward with the one item that has been picked and complete the picking process. So we can now see we've moved on to the packing tab here. This is the one line item that was picked. We can see it's in the picking state, and if we go back to the first tab, we can then see that the one that we didn't enter is now marked as missing. If we then go to the back order system for the sales order, we can see these are the two line items. That first one is marked as picked and the second one is marked as missing. So from this point, a decision can be made as to whether to put this on back order or to cancel it and perhaps sell the customer a different product, or we can just leave it as missing for the time being. So if we then go back to the packed interface here, we have the option now to generate a packing slip, which will do the same as the picking slip, store a PDF copy into the document management system. We then have a checkbox next to each line item here. So if there's a pile of stock sitting on a bench that's been picked and we now need to pack them into the box, if something's gone missing and it's not there, maybe somebody's gone on lunch and we don't know who has actually picked it, we have the option to untick those boxes and not mark them as packed. Those then will then sit in that picked state. So if we then complete the packing process, we move on to the final stage here, which is the shipping tab. We can see the status is now packed, and we now have the option to complete the shipping process. So we can go if we want to set up our tracking details, we can go and select a courier. and we can drop in our con note there. Alternatively, if we've got quite a few items here, we can select master courier here, put in our con note, and by clicking apply, that will then apply it to each of the line items. Once we're happy with those details, we just click complete shipping process. So this now takes us back to the initial tab here. We can see the two line items. The first one's still marked as missing, and the second one has been marked as completed. If we go into the sales order now, we can see that it's still pending shipment. The first line item here is marked as missing. The second one is for a purchase order which hasn't been ordered yet, and then the third one has been marked as shipped. If we go to the back order list now for the sales order, we can see we've now just got the one item remaining as the other one's been closed off and shipped. So if we now just go back into the picking screen for that other item, and we might just do the picking again. So we've located the product and we scan the product in. Now in this example here, the product that we've scanned in is a composite product, which means it's similar to a bundle. There's a parent product which has its own code, and then there's some other items inside the box. So what it's now prompting us for is to scan whatever the part codes or serial numbers might be for any items inside. So at first we have the option here to just start scanning, but there's also a little quick guide here which just shows us, it does a bit of a lookup for all the different composite products with this matching code, looks inside each of them to see what different parts are in all of them, as well as the serial numbers, and it gives us a quick list here to help us sort of save a bit of time. So we can either start typing or scanning here, or we can click the button on any of these. So if, for example, we click on the serial number here, child 1, you can see that that list has now just shrunk right down because it now knows one of the children, and based on that there's only one other possible product and there's no other combinations. Now if we were to scan in the part code instead of the serial number, for example, we'll get an error here just confirming that we haven't scanned the right code. So if we then just go back and scan the serial number, that's now been picked. So in total there's actually 3 products. There's the parent, which is this product here that we originally ordered, and then we've discovered that there were 2 products inside of it. So we've got the 1 reservation, and then 2 child reservations have been created as a result, and you can see that they're linked back to that parent one. So if we then go through our picking process and our packing, and then we complete the order, that's now updated those.